Once again, the children of class 12 arts, Badawan Model School. Now, as we know that class 12 is a very important, this is a very important juncture for you. So we have tried once again through offline classes, and yesterday, in my previous class I have given you, I have started with chapter from contemporary world politics, and as I have told you in your book it is mentioned as alternative centers of power, but here it's mentioned as new centers of power. And discussing that, I have discussed about the European Union. Now today another center of power I will be talking about or discussing about with you is that Association of Southeast Asian Nation or ASEAN. Many of you pronounce it like Asian, but so far as we have learned, it is ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Here only you can understand that the members of this particular power center are actually countries who belong to the southeastern part of Asia. So all the countries who are a part of Southeast Asia, they are actually members of this ASEAN. Now the reason comes that why was ASEAN formed? During after the first two world wars, which were very devastating, as I've already discussed in the previous class. So the Southeast Asian countries, they have been the victims of colonial exploitation, because as you know, in the case of India and mainly Southeast Asian and African countries, they were all victims of colonial exploitation, and they have been exploited at any extent. So when this the World War came to an end, after that came the Cold War. Now during this period, these countries, that is the Southeast Asian countries, they were exploited, and they were they were not at all in a mentality, or in fact I can tell you that they cannot afford to become a part of any of the two power blocks, either USA or USSR. And that time, NAM was formed, but NAM was not found to be so much effective, or in fact it was not found to be so much of effective in bringing about the desired development. So as a result, in the year 1967, the 5 countries of Southeast Asia, that is Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore and Thailand, they came together and they formed one organization, and the name of that organization was the ASEAN, and this was signed by the Bangkok Declaration. After signing the Bangkok Declaration, this ASEAN as another center of power was actually formed. Now, as I've told you that the main members who were the signing members of ASEAN were actually Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore and Thailand. Now, when this ASEAN was formed, the ASEAN had huge objectives, that means aims and objectives, the reasons why it was formed. First of all, the main reason for its formation was to accelerate the economic development. Accelerate means to boost up, that means to bring the level of economic development, because we all know all the countries which have been victims of colonial exploitation, their economic condition was destructed at any length. So the first thing which they wanted to bring about, this ASEAN wanted to bring about, was economic development, and together with economic development they would move forward towards social and cultural development of the country or all the member countries. And its main objective, together with that, its primary objective was to promote or to boost up economic development, and as a secondary objective, it had regional peace and stability amongst all its members, because as I've already told you, because of the 2 world wars, another Cold War, all the colonial exploitations, now these countries who have formed the ASEAN, they were at any cost, they would not be able to afford the any another war or any other, like I will say that, conflict or hostility with any other powerful country. And in this respect, moving on the path of European Union, as we see that the European Union had also built up a number of agencies or organization, the ASEAN had also formed a number of agencies. In the year 2002, you will find that ASEAN had moved along, it has formed the ASEAN community comprising three important pillars. Three communities were set up, and these three communities were actually the three pillars of ASEAN. And what were they? The three pillars or the three bodies which actually made up ASEAN were the ASEAN Security Community, this was the first one. Second one was the ASEAN Economic Community, and the third one was so these were the three pillars which were actually the pillars of the ASEAN. That means three different agencies, three different bodies which were created for fulfilling the different purposes of ASEAN. As we see that the ASEAN Security Council, it was mainly formed for what? For bringing about from restraining or from preventing the outbreak of any other war, and especially for maintaining the peace and security of all those countries which have been members of ASEAN. So we can see that the ASEAN Security Community, it was entirely devoted, to the task of maintaining territorial integrity. That means solving inter-territorial disputes. Then with that we can see that the ASEAN Regional Forum, or the ARF, this was another agency or a body which was formed in the year 1994, and its main work was to carry about coordination. That means link between all the member countries of all the countries which are actually members of the ASEAN. Now the objectives of the second one, that is the objectives of the ASEAN Economic Community, was actually to create a common market and production base within ASEAN states and to aid social and economic development. That means the ASEAN Economic Community, it was mainly to bring up among all the countries who were members of ASEAN, to create a common market where all the members of the ASEAN community, they would have a common strategy of bringing about economic development together. And in this, there was another thing, the vision 2020. What was this? This was included that within 2020, it was mentioned by ASEAN that it was a part of ASEAN's objective, Vision 2020. That means within the year 2020, ASEAN will try to fulfill all the objectives which it had actually tried to take up, or it has actually tried to develop. And the last one, the ASEAN socio-cultural community. That means all the members of ASEAN, they will actually have coordination in terms of social and cultural interaction amongst these countries. Many and ASEAN, in fact ASEAN, although it was not so powerful like that of other centers of power like European Union, like Japan, like USA, but the development of ASEAN was very fast. It was very fast, and in fact we can assess this, that many of the members like China, like India, they have not become directly members of ASEAN, but they have become dialogue partners or observers of the ASEAN. So ASEAN is the another center of power, which was actually formed by the all those Southeast Asian countries, which were actually have suffered long years of colonial exploitation. With this, I come to an end with the part on ASEAN. Hope to meet you in the next class very soon. Thank you.